What's cooking, people? Welcome to my second video on where I talk about those games that tell their stories more through their world than through text or dialogue. This time I'll be talking about the ruined post-apocalyptic world of Hyperlight Drifter. Hyperlight Drifter, like many other games before it, is a testament to the fact that you don't need full 3D graphics, dramatic orchestral soundtracks or Hollywood-like voice acting to tell an engaging, thought-provoking and captivating experience in video games. The game's pixel-like art presentation shouts this out loud and proud, and it's almost impossible not to be awestruck by it. The game starts off with a nameless character, who we assume is the Drifter, based off his cloaked appearance and the intro clearly showing him wandering the ruined landscape of his world, whilst confronting the shadowed and colossus atrocities that have seemingly brought it to its current state. The beautiful thing about this game is that no text or dialogue is used to tell this story. The developers, Heart Machine, have decided to tell the story both through wonderful short cutscenes, the game world itself that you interact with, as well as through small comic book like windows when meeting the various other inhabitants of the world, which I'll talk about later. Like with my previous video on Ico, your introduction to the Drifter is full of mystery and intrigue. Who is he? What's that sword he wields? Does he have a connection to the horrors that seemingly plague him? And most blatant of all, is he dying or cursed? Perhaps he's merely injured, from the battles he's had, or perhaps the weapon he's wielding, the thing that slays these creatures, perhaps the weapon itself is both a blessing and a curse. These questions instantly fill your mind through the way the game presents its story. For me, it instantly took me back to such classics as Another World, or Out of This World as it was known in North America, and Flashback, which was once again known as Flashback, the quest for identity in North America. For me also, there were many elements that reminded me of the Studio Ghibli film Nausicaa, as well as Castle in the Sky, when seeing some of the robots and dead colossal beings that are seen throughout this game. And this is where the world of the Drifter best tells its story, in my opinion. As you wander through the environments that have been overgrown by nature, yet still show signs of a once high technological civilization, each area offers a moment of wonder or reflection. Ancient mechanisms sit motionless in the grass, covered in moss, with the occasional bird resting on their shoulders, before they flutter off as you disturb the scene. Venture around the next corner, and the camera pans back, showcasing a deceased massive being that lays against the mountainside. Or perhaps you will happen across the severed arm of a giant robot that still clutches onto its weapon that has been stabbed into the ground. It's hard not to stand still for the moment and take it in. Once again, questioning what happened here, or maybe what could happen. The game filling you with slight hesitation, perhaps scared to approach in case these beings reanimate due to your presence. This is what the game is great at, and you have to remember this is all in 2D, harking back to that 16-bit era where developers had to be creative with their presentations and deliverance of storytelling. But you'll learn from me that on this channel that I champion those eras over the ones we are currently in. The storytelling, when you encounter NPCs in this game, is told in a more blatant yet still captivating way. As you speak to these characters, you encounter both in towns and in the wild. Their conversations are told through comic book style windows, where a few images are shown telling you about how they got to where they are or where they are going. I absolutely love this style of storytelling. In a way, it's the purest form of storytelling, in my opinion. A few select and focused images, perhaps from a book or a graphic novel, visually detailing everything you need to know without giving you every detail, once again leaving some things to the imagination. And many of these images in this game are quite striking, both in wonder and horror. Hyperlight Drifter has a unique and ancient soundtrack that harkens back to classics like Terranigma and Final Fantasy VI, or even great compositions from the likes of the Donkey Kong Country series on the SNES. Those melancholy, ethereal chimes and echoes that the Super Nintendo sound chip was famous for. For each scene in this game, the soundtrack wants you to feel a certain way. It wants you to react to what's happening on screen, both visually and audibly, once again enhancing that storytelling. Hyperlight Drifter does what many games fail to do when they try to throw everything into your face. The game tells you everything you need to know through a wonderful presentation of its world and the characters' interaction with it. Although the world tells a story here, so do you. It's up to you to look at its ruins, its creatures, the wildlife and populace, and try to grasp an understanding. And because of this, I regard Hyperlight Drifter's storytelling as a wondrous achievement. Once again, a world that tells the story. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, please leave your comments below and let me know your thoughts. For my next video, I'll be talking about the video game's world's most famous bounty hunter and how, once again, the world tells the story.